always knew when I was Connecticut. I'm like, you know what? I should go down there, show Belichick my back pedal. But, we're different kind of teammates. Let me start with that. That's an interesting one. So
What, your football career?
That's not real interesting. So you exhale. You retire. You exhale. And you probably gave yourself about 4 or 5 months, just take a deep breath. I saw you slim down. You probably weren't sore for the first time in 20 years. And then you start prepping. You sign with Fox. What have you been doing to prepare for this opening broadcast for a year and a half?
Well, I've reached out to all the different people that I've met over the years of in media and sports and got their take on kind of what the job entailed and then ultimately how the preparation goes during the week. And then how do you be really good when you come on air? And I've had a lot of time, I think, over the course of my career in interviews, production meetings, and being on camera.
Yeah.
That hopefully it's not too far from what I've already experienced, knowing that there's going to be a lot of things that are new to this. So I think the most exciting part for me is there's more of a structure to my life, which I've always enjoyed.
Yeah.
Playing football on the weekends. Now I get to work on the weekends here in the fall. And obviously the NFL football season is back, which is, we're all excited about that. I'm sure when you're walking into the studio today, it's a different feeling because, this new cycle around NFL football is very exciting. And I'm excited to get going. I got the best teammates in the world, KB and Aaron, Tom, and then everyone behind the scenes in the truck, Z, Roos, their whole team, the chance to get to know those people more intimately and to really put together something special for the audience is what's exciting for me. So I'm ready for football season. I'm ready to get back out there and watch from a different perspective. And we're fortunate to be in Cleveland this weekend with a great game, Cleveland, Dallas. And it can't get here soon enough.
So when you look at this film, all these years of experience, one of the things I ask myself about Cleveland, I love the coach, I love the GM, I love the O-line. What's up with Deshaun Watson? I mean, you can play, he didn't play. Are you seeing anything in this matchup, just on film from last year, that you are saying, man, I got to see this develop? Like, is there a really interesting element that you can't wait to see?
I think there's a lot of storylines in this particular game. But the interesting part about the NFL is nobody really knows what they're going to be this season. You have hopes, you bring in draft picks, free agents, and you try to put together your team to say, all right, this is the way that we want to play based on where our deficiencies were last year. Certainly, Cleveland's defense was top of the league last year. They want to continue that. They want to get Deshaun back. They brought in a whole offensive staff to try to get him to play the way that he played when he was in Houston.
Yeah.
And they want to go out there and compete, not just for a division title, but for more than that. And it's a great kind of test for them to go against Dallas, who, they want to get over the hump as well. And they've got a lot of great players. They've got a lot of great talent. They got to get to, I think Coach McCarthy, they have a great leader in Coach McCarthy that really preaches, hey, we want to stay focused day after day. We want to eliminate the distractions. And they've had quite a few of that this offseason, but every team does. And I feel like Dallas has handled it very well. And it's a great opening game. This is what it's all about. A lot of guys coming back from injury. You got Trevon Diggs up there. I want to see him play. I want to see what Dak does coming off last season, his best season as a pro. So many great things to watch in this particular game. And again, it's a perfect day for football. It seems like it's going to be in Cleveland on Sunday. It's not always like that there from someone who's been there a few times.
Yeah.
But 65 degrees and partly cloudy is perfect football weather.
Okay, Trent Williams back. And we've said this before. I feel Trent Williams was more valuable. And I like Brandon Ayuk. I think the team is Kyle Shanahan's brain, McCaffrey's legs, and Trent Williams and Bosa. That's the soul of the team. Ooh. Tell me, what is the difference? If you knew you had Trent Williams and he didn't play, would it get in your head? I think his signing is gigantic for the Niners. You tell me how much it matters.
Yeah. I would be driving him to work every day if I was the quarterback. I'd be making sure Trent was with me every single place I went. There's no better protector in the NFL than Trent over the years. And I think the way they use him, and obviously I think San Francisco's run game is incredible, the way they scheme their run game up. But having Trent in there, it's just an entirely different offense because of his athleticism, his rare combination of size, of quickness, of power. I mean, he's just, when he gets out there on the field, he's a matchup advantage for the Niners every time that he takes a snap out there. So when they have him out there, they all feel confident. A lot of those plays are going to go to the left side of the line of scrimmage right behind him. They know that when he's in pass protection, he's going to hold up as well as anybody. It doesn't really matter who he goes against. A tremendous player. And it's Niners had, between the Ayuk signing and Trent, I mean, that was a little worrisome a few weeks ago. I actually did a practice game against the Saints up in Santa Clara a couple weeks ago. And everyone was a bit concerned, but I think now a lot of those concerns are eased when both those guys are back in the building and ready to put their pads on, go out to practice, and get ready to play a game.
Okay, Chiefs-Ravens Thursday. Kansas City's done this dance, and they keep winning it. I love Lamar, and I love Baltimore. I love the coach. I love the owner. I think it's the best-run franchise, arguably, last decade in the league. I think Baltimore does everything well except win in late January. You tell me, does it start wearing on you? Buffalo's going through this, Tom. You start hearing you can't win these games. Is the pressure on Kansas City to defend the home field or Baltimore Thursday?
I'd say a little bit more on Baltimore for that exact reason. I think that when you have great leadership, and I think of those Baltimore teams when they had Ray Lewis and Ed Reed as their two primary leaders, even though they may lost in a championship game, I actually saw this the other day, a clip from Ray Lewis in the locker room after they had lost to us, I think in 2011 in the championship game. And how Ray talked about that team and how he wanted to get them back on track going into next year. That's always what it's about. When you lose in the playoffs, you want to think about, how are we going to get over the hump next year? What do we need to do? Where are our deficiencies? Where can we get a little better? Where's our margin of error? Is it taking care of the football? Is it third down? Is it scoring points in the red area? Is it production from a unit that we haven't got a lot of production from? Tight end groupings, running back groupings. How can we improve our team a little bit so when we get in these big games, we're more prepared than the other team? We got more margin of error. And look, to win a Super Bowl is absolutely incredibly difficult. There's only one team that does it. To do what the Chiefs have done is really remarkable. And they want to try to do it again. That challenge of them doing it is going to be as hard a challenge as any team the NFL's ever had. That's why it's never happened to win 3 in a row. But the Chiefs are poised, like they always are, to go in there. I don't think they believe their hype. They're very well coached, obviously great quarterback, great leaders. The defense played really well last year. So those guys are prepared. Baltimore wants what the Chiefs got, and that's why you lead the season off the way they have it, Ravens-Chiefs. I'm excited to see that one get underway too.
I couldn't tell you the last time I was this excited to watch the Chicago Bears play and the Washington Commanders, and that's the great gift the NFL gives us, is that we watch these great college players for 3 and 4 and 5 years, and all of a sudden I have an emotional investment. I can't wait to watch Jaden and Caleb. Give me one thing that you'll see with a young quarterback. You may see it with Drake Maye. The one thing that Tom Brady will see that I can't, that you'll be like, okay, he's going to be okay. He's going to be okay. What does a young quarterback, is it the feet? Is it the head movement? What do you see that I can't that you would know it's going to work?
Well, I think there's lots of ways you can look at a quarterback play, and I think it's very easily to evaluate the physical aspect of the game, how well he throws the ball, how fast his feet are when he drops back in the pocket. Can he escape the pocket and make some plays on the run? For me, I think the sustainable part about quarterbacking is really what's up here, is what's in the brain. Are you snapping the ball and running good plays consistently against the defenses that you're out there watching as you're reading the defenses? So much of it to me is is the coach giving the quarterback, because he's going to see it every day in practice, the coach and the players, are they giving the quarterback the freedom to make the plays and the decisions that he needs to make to get the team to win? Because a lot of these guys can throw the ball. A lot of them can move in the pocket. Now, watching Caleb do it, he's exceptional at it.
Right.
But to me, it's a deeper level than that. When you're looking at starting quarterbacks in the NFL, everybody should be able to throw the ball well. Everybody should be able to drop back and make accurate throws. It's what can you do when you're on the road in front of 70,000 people, and every single player in the offensive huddle is looking at you in your eyes going, does this guy have the confidence in himself to bring us back when we're losing in the fourth quarter? And I think that's the mark of what I see in quarterbacks. When I watch them, I want to say, okay, does this guy have the maturity? Does he have the poise? Does he have the composure to be at his best when his team needs him the most?
90 seconds, Drake Maye. Would you sit him? I don't think there's a right answer. Would you sit him or would you put his feet to the fire and let it rip?
So, I mean, I've gone on record to say that I think it's best, in my opinion, for young quarterbacks or rookie quarterbacks to kind of watch a veteran do it. And there's so much that goes on, and quarterbacks need to process so much information so quickly. And I think if you can have someone, I sat behind Drew Bledsoe my first year. What a great player he was, someone that I got to watch and learn from. Aaron Rodgers watched behind Brett Favre. Patrick Mahomes watched behind Alex Smith. So when you have a real pro in front of you, they can help with that learning curve, even though that young quarterback isn't necessarily going out there and losing confidence in what his abilities are. So, ultimately those young players are going to get opportunities. The franchises need those young quarterbacks to come in and take a big step and lead that franchise on into the future.
Right.
I just like to give them a little bit of time to acclimate themselves to the pro game, the pro schedule. And it's a big difference between college football and professional football.
We got about 90 seconds left. Week 1 is different than it used to be. Tom, nobody plays in the preseason. Veterans, I mean, the Jets and the Niners, some of these older teams, they're not playing anybody. So there could be upsets galore. If you had a lean in Dallas, Cleveland, because there's so many good veteran players in that. We'll circle back for about 90 seconds.
I know.
What do you think the game looks like, Cowboys-Browns? What does it look like to start?
I think it's a defensive game. I think you got two great defenses. Coach Zimmer is a huge addition to that Dallas defense. They've got a lot of the same players coming back on Dallas's defense. Cleveland does as well. I think both offenses, they're not quite the running games they've had in the past due to some injuries. So they've had some offensive line shuffling going on both teams. So I think it's going to be a little bit more of a passing game. And I don't know if those passing games are quite in midseason form yet with the way that these, CD wasn't in camp. Dak didn't have a lot of looks at that. So again, some of these passing games may take a little time to develop. So I think it's going to be a very good defensive game. Two great coordinators, a couple of the best defensive lines, pass rushers in the NFL going. So I don't think it's a 0-3 game, but I don't think it's a high-flying, scoring all over the place game either.
Yeah, last week in week 1, I'm always amazed the college kids play so well in week 1 without preseason. These NFL games week 1, there's going to be a huge upset. Veterans don't play, so you don't know what you're getting. You don't.
I think the pro football is a lot more fair than college football. When you see these college football games and you got a directional Tennessee school versus Alabama, there's not much chance that it's tough for those teams to come in and compete against the big dogs. So in the NFL, look, this is as fair as it gets, which is why everyone loves this sport. It's a salary cap. It's so many things that all these teams have the ability to recompromise their roster and deal with them in the best possible way and try to be the best team they could be. It's a great battle.
Tom Brady, great seeing you. Good luck.